So if you can hold yourself up on the wall upside down, it's time to start getting your first real handstands. If you feel like you don't quite have the adequate strength for these exercises, I strongly recommend you check out the beginner handstand routine, link in description. But if you can hold yourself up on the wall for 30 to 60 seconds, it's time to start working on balancing. So let's dive in. First, we'll warm up with the frog stand. I love the frog because it will help you train the wrists and shoulders to hold your body weight up off the ground. It can also show you what balancing on your hands actually feels like. Rest your inner thighs right above the elbows. Press the ground away firmly through your hands and shoulders. For extra credit, keep your shoulder blades protracted. You can play with how much you bend your elbow and the angle of your torso. Just keep pushing. For the regressed version, place your head down on the ground for extra support. It's not like getting the frog stand down will instantly unlock your handstand, but it will strengthen the joints needed to unlock it further down the line. Now let's go upside down. My favorite place to start is the heel pull against the wall. Go upside down with your heels pressed into the wall. To begin, we will start with scissoring the legs, taking one leg away from the wall and then switching. As you switch, spend a moment with both legs off the wall. Over time, you can catch yourself in a hover with no feet touching more and more. For a more challenging variation, pull both heels off at once. The idea here is that we want to use hand pressure, shoulder and core strength to pull the feet away, not just by moving the legs. As I transfer weight and press into my fingers, my legs will slightly move back and the heels will come off the wall. Try to balance for a second, maybe two, and then let the feet go back to the wall. Of course, in the beginning, just get comfortable with pulling the heels off for a quick moment, but over time, you can work your way up to longer hovers. And be happy, you just got your first floats into a real handstand. So a quick tip here is one of the keys to a handstand is aligning the shoulders on top of the hands. If the shoulders are behind your hands, you will always just fall back. Push the ground away firmly and elevate your shoulders. Don't sink into them. This can be slightly counterintuitive, but it will help you move your shoulders forward and get them aligned over your hands. To start moving away from the wall, you need something that most people don't realize, and that's feeling safe. If your body feels comfortable, it will allow you to relax and be strong in the upside down position. There's two main ways to do this. Number one is to keep using the wall or a partner, but in a different way. Move yourself further away from the wall and just use it for catching yourself if you fall forward. You can also use a hallway. This way, you can have support on either side of you. If you have a buddy or a partner around, you can have them mimic the hallway by putting their hands out and supporting you lightly on both sides. I really like the split leg position for beginners because it allows you to use your legs for more balance. But really, it's about doing what's most comfortable for you. The second way to make yourself feel safe is to practice with softness around you. You could be stacking pillows around you in your living room, or probably the best option is some nice soft grass. Grass really sucks for pushing your hands into, so once you're getting better, you'll want to get to some hard ground. But it does wonders for building confidence. Most will subconsciously allow themselves to commit more to the handstand in an open, grassy field. Another important part of being safe in handstands is to know how to bail and fall. If you practice bailing out of a handstand, you will always know you can come down safely. The best bail technique is to turn it into a cartwheel. Just shift one hand out in front of you and guide yourself down. This way the fear of tipping over forwards lessens because you know how to handle it. And lastly, I decided to place this at the end of the video because it's a little more boring, but when it comes to getting your first handstand, wrist strength and mobility is crucial. It might be the most important thing. As long as you have strong enough wrists and shoulders, you can hold yourself upside down, and the rest of your body can do whatever it pleases. So I always begin with finger push-ups and wrist rocks. For push-ups, keep the fingers on the ground and lift the palm of your hand upward, pushing force into the fingers. For the rocks, simply rock the shoulders in front of the hands and then back. Just like you use your ankles and toes to balance, use your fingers, heel of the hand and wrists to keep your center of gravity over your hands. Use this as a warm-up and cool down for all your handstand sessions. So people always ask, how long does it take to get a handstand? And it varies so much. It really just depends on where you're at in your journey. I know people who have gotten a pretty solid 10-second handstand in a month. I know others that have had to work super hard for a whole year. Take your time. There's really no rush. And realize that balancing upside down, it takes a lot of physical and mental energy. So you gotta take rests and you gotta just seek small improvements each session. So if you're looking for coaching from the Strength Side team with your handstand, then check out the Primal Athlete. This is where we take people through training to get things like handstands, muscle ups, front splits, all the good stuff. If you're looking for a little extra motivation for your handstand training, be sure to check out my 5-year handstand transformation. You can see my first kickups where I'm falling over myself, all the way to having a pretty solid handstand. And if you're getting your first hovers into a handstand, I would love to know. Drop us a comment, hit us up on Instagram, like the video, subscribe to Strength Side, subscribe to Strength Side, as always.